Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome all of you to the Chesapeake Virtual Academy Family Webinar for the 2023-2024 school year. This evening, I will be joined by my colleagues, Kelly Jordan, who is the supervisor of Chesapeake Virtual Academy, and Aaron Jury, the CVA Special Education Administrator, as we give you all an overview of what instruction in CVA is going to look like for the coming school year and how the application process will work. I'm also joined tonight by the Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Nancy Sweat, and Kiosha Macklin, CVA School Counseling Director, who will be assisting in the Q&A. As we go through tonight's presentation, feel free to put any questions you may have in the Q&A, and one of us will get to it in the order that it was received. We're also asking that you mute all of your microphones, and keep in mind that if a question comes in through the Q&A and we know that we're going to answer it later on in the presentation, it may be skipped because the answer will be coming up. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kelly Jordan, supervisor of CVA, who will talk about the instructional program for the coming school year. Ms. Jordan?
Thank you, Mr. Chamberlain. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. I'm really glad that we had the opportunity to bring you guys along with us tonight as we talk about Chesapeake Virtual Academy. So some of you may be questioning, why should I have my student or my child sign up for Chesapeake Virtual Academy? And I do want to first say that this is not a response to COVID. This is really an opportunity that we have created to give students greater control over their time, place, pace, and path of their own educational journey. It really is for those students who desire to be an online learner and want to be able to have a little bit more of control over how they learn and how they go about their day and their educational journey. It does give us the ability to ensure that we have equitable access to personalized learning experiences. There's a lot of one-on-one opportunities for our students throughout the day with their teachers, and it does give us the opportunity to ensure that we promote the 5 C's that are found in the profile of a Virginia graduate, as well as ensure that we embed that CPS curriculum. We make sure that we do abide by the same Virginia standards that are also found in our brick and mortar buildings, as well as the CPS curriculum. There is no difference in those standards and curriculum between Chesapeake Virtual Academy and ourselves. For the upcoming school year, the 2023-24 school year, Chesapeake Virtual Academy will be open to all Chesapeake Public School students. They will have to fill out an application, and it is free of charge. There is no charge to participate in Chesapeake Virtual Academy. Any student who is accepted and comes in will be remaining connected to their home school, and therefore that does allow them to participate in any sport, any club, or any activity. So that means if your child wants to play soccer, or they want to join the National Honor Society, or they want to play they want to be a part of the chess club, or they want to do SCA, they are still going to be able to do that with their home school, but still be able to participate in Chesapeake Virtual Academy and stay home throughout the day. Full-time students are making a full year commitment to Chesapeake Virtual Academy, and we will get into the difference between full-time and part-time in terms of the differences between elementary, middle, and high. But if you are a full-time student, that will be a full year commitment for the entire school year. And anyone who is currently enrolled with us for the 2022-23 school year, you will have to reapply for the upcoming 2023-24 school year. Your current status in Chesapeake Virtual Academy does not roll over into the new school year, and so you will need to make sure you do go to the website and submit a new application to us. Chesapeake Virtual Academy, we pride ourselves on the fact that we do offer synchronous and asynchronous instruction. The other thing that we pride ourselves on is that all of our courses are taught by Chesapeake Public Schools teachers. We do not have any courses in which where they're taught by anybody else but Chesapeake Public Schools teachers, which is pretty unique for a school division to offer in a K-12 program. And it's something that we're extremely, extremely proud of. Is the fact that we can say that our Chesapeake Public Schools students in Chesapeake Virtual Academy are all being taught by Chesapeake Public School teachers, and we really value that. There are also services that are provided for our EL or English learners, students, our gifted students, and our special education students, all of which Ms. Jury will speak about in the upcoming slides. And students will be learning, like I said, from the CPS curriculum and be following the CPS pacing guides in the exact same manner that they would be doing in the brick and mortar building. So let's get into Chesapeake Virtual Academy Elementary. This is going to be open to any student that's going in a rising kindergartner through a rising fifth grader by application. There is synchronous and asynchronous instruction that will take place 5 days a week. There is also a daily attendance requirement, and attendance is checked every single day. We are required to have a daily attendance check. And the schedule does align with the CPS required instructional minutes for each content area. And by that, what we mean is the same minutes that are spent on math in their homeschool are the same exact minutes that we spend during the day in Chesapeake Virtual Academy. There is whole group and small group instruction devoted every day for reading and math. The students will participate in science, social studies, art, music, and health and PE. There's opportunities for remediation as well as enrichment, and we do offer Power Up for our students during that time for those enrichment and remediation times, as well as we offer individual one-on-one support sessions each day for our students who do need that one-on-one time with their teachers. In the next upcoming slide, you're going to see just a sample schedule of what it would look like for a student who is going to participate with us for a day. You'll see that the day starts at approximately 7:45 in the morning, and all of our students K-5 participate in a morning meeting that lasts for 15 minutes. And then in this scenario, the students would start their reading block in which they would go into word study, and then they would go into interactive read aloud, and then a reading workshop with small group. And it goes back and forth between whole group and small group, in which there would be some asynchronous time built in. You would see a writing workshop built in, and then you move it to the math block. That first math block would be synchronous instruction, with the second math block with that small group being asynchronous instruction. We've really tried to work really hard on making sure that the students have some breaks built in. So there's synchronous time and then there's asynchronous time. All of our students will also have recess and lunch built in. And then there's obviously the block in there for resource as well. The next slide that we're going to get into is going to cover Chesapeake Virtual Academy for middle school students. This is an option that is going to be open to all rising 6th through 8th graders, and again, by application. This is going to be synchronous and synchronous again, similar to elementary, 5 days a week, and there is also a daily attendance requirement. We offer core, academic, honors, and gifted courses. And then we do also offer what's called Core Plus, in which we offer remediation and enrichment opportunities during that class. There's also opportunities for individual support sessions as needed throughout the day, as well as in the evening. And then students are going to have the option to take electives through us, which is going to be new for us in the upcoming school year, as well as electives through Virtual Virginia, which is something that we did offer this year and we will continue to offer in the upcoming school year. And so in the next slide, you're going to see that, I got a little bit ahead of myself. So CVA middle school students will all be taking English, math, science, social studies, health and PE, and Core Plus. They will have the option to take electives if they so choose. They may choose to take one full year elective. They may choose to take one single semester elective or two single semester electives to make up the full year. And those electives include choices in art. There's also going to be a new independent music technique class in the areas of vocal, strings, or wind ensemble. There's a computer science elective, exploratory world languages, introduction to leadership and community service, which will be targeted only for our 8th grade students, or available, only for our 8th grade students. And then traditionally speaking, we offer all level 1 world languages for our 8th grade students as well. On the next slide, you'll see the sample schedule. You'll see that every day our students will be meeting synchronously for their Bell 1. This will be a shift from this past year. Moving forward next year, Bell 1 will meet every single day. This will allow for students to be able to take attendance and meet every single day with their teacher. And then we'll move to an A-B schedule for the remainder of the week with students seeing their teachers either on a Monday, on a Monday, Thursday, or a Tuesday, Friday for bells 2, 4, and 6, or 3, 5, and 7. But you can see the remainder of the day is split up with synchronous and asynchronous times. The asynchronous times is delegated to student support sessions, and during that time, the teachers have one-on-one sessions set aside in which they would be able to meet individually with their students to assist them one-on-one for any areas of concerns that they have to offer remediation or enrichment. Wednesdays after the Bell 1 synchronous instruction, that is devoted again to one-on-one and small group support sessions. And then just as we've done this year, we will continue to offer support sessions in the evening for any students who need additional support in the evenings. And then our last option is going to be for our high school students. We do offer Chesapeake Virtual Academy High, and this is going to be an option offered to all students in rising 9th through 12th grade courses, and this will be done through course selection or the scheduling process. And this is an opportunity where you can register or you can select to be a full-time or a part-time student, which is different from our K-8 students who can only select to be full-time. It is a completely asynchronous instructional model, and it provides maximum flexibility. Students can work at their own pace with due dates throughout the week, but they really should be an independent and self-directed learner. Teachers are available daily to meet one-on-one or in small groups or with students who need extra support, and there is a daily attendance check-in required. So if you're choosing to apply as a part-time CVA students, these are students who are choosing to take some classes in person in the building and some classes online. They may report to the homeschool, or they will report to their homeschool each day. They may come into the building late, or they may leave early if they can provide their own transportation. And they may even choose to complete their CVA courses in the virtual learning center of their homeschool, which may mean that they're actually spending their entire day in their actual homeschool. Again, it's really the flexibility of the student and what they're choosing to do. Full-time CVA students are making a full year commitment to the program, which means they're taking all of their classes online and they are working from home, and they're going to be completing a daily check-in. Regardless of whether they're going to be full-time or a part-time student, all of the students will remain connected to their homeschool, which means they will all be able to participate in all school-sponsored sports, clubs, and activities. The CVA course offerings are available on our website. Students may take as few as 1 if that's what works into their schedule, or as many as 8 if they choose to be a full-time student. Our course offerings are limited and they are subject to change based on enrollment. In addition, students may choose to take courses with Virtual Virginia if it is a course that is not offered through Chesapeake Virtual Academy. And with that being said, I'm going to pass the next slide on to Mrs. Erin Jury, who is our Chesapeake Virtual Academy Special Education Administrator, who is going to talk to us about our exceptional learners.
Good evening, everyone. So Chesapeake Virtual Academy does have an exceptional learning program. We provide special education services, including speech and language, available to all of our K through 12 students. Gifted education is also offered to students who qualify in grades 3 through 8. And the EL services for our EL learners are offered through their zone schools for students who qualify for that. So we do work collaboratively with the home schools to make sure that our EL students still receive those services through their home school. CVA students have opportunities for traditional student interaction. So all of our students maintain the connection to our homeschool. They may participate in student athletics, sports, clubs, and extracurricular activities. The virtual learning centers at each high school. So each of our high schools have a virtual learning center. So a student can be enrolled in CVA either full or part-time when they're in high school, and they can actually go into the school and do all of their courses from that virtual learning center. We also offer counseling and mentoring. We have morning meetings, small group instruction, one-on-one sessions, enrichment, and remediation. And then this year, and we were planning to do next year too, we have a teacher meet and greet prior to the start of school. The CVA parent involvement responsibilities. So we just ask that you provide a safe, secure, and structured learning environment for your student. Ensure students complete the daily attendance check. Ensure students attend synchronous sessions and complete asynchronous assignments, and ensure students have access to a CPS Chromebook and internet access. Frequently asked questions. So one of the questions we often get are students required to complete SOL, MAP, and other standardized testing? And the answer is yes. CVA students must complete all standardized testing as mandated by Chesapeake Public Schools and or the Virginia Department of Education. Will students have to report to campus? Students must be on campus at their zone school to complete standardized assessments mandated by Chesapeake Public Schools, College Board, and the Virginia Department of Education. Our students provided with a Chromebook and textbooks. All CVA students are provided with a CPS Chromebook and any necessary test books. Students and or parents must pick up these items from the student's home school. Most schools also offer the use of a hotspot upon request if you need help with your internet access. So that's something a lot of our families ask for as well. It says, who do I contact if I need tech support? CVA teachers can troubleshoot most technology issues. If needed, IT Help Desk is available to assist with technical problems associated with CPS issue devices. So they can help, the IT Help Desk can help with any of those issues, but your student has to be on their CPS issue device in order to receive that assistance. It says, are synchronous sessions recorded? Since CVA elementary and CVA middle school students are required to attend all synchronous sessions, they are not recorded. Students who are absent may schedule one-on-one time with their teacher for any missed content. And then the last question says, how much time will I spend working in an online class? Students should plan to spend the same amount of time completing their CVA courses as they would if they were enrolled in traditional courses. This includes time spent in school as well as additional time to complete homework.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jury. I'm going to pick it up from there and talk about how the CVA application process will work as the application officially opened today. I also want to remind everyone that we are not monitoring the chat feature. So if you have a question that has not been answered in the presentation, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom because, as I said, the chat is not being monitored. So the CVA application did open today, and it is available on our website at cpschools.com/CVA. The application is open for elementary, middle, and high school students and will remain open through March 1st, 2023. Students that are in elementary and middle school have to meet two basic criteria in order for their applications to be approved for the 23-24 school year. First, they have to have earned passing grades in all of their core classes in Q1 and Q2 of the current school year, and they have to have 9 or fewer absences by the end of semester 1 of the current school year. Students in grades K through 8 that apply for CVA for the 23-24 school year will be notified if they are accepted sometime in late May 2023, and then they will have until June 15th, 2023 to decline their acceptance letter and decide to return to in-person learning at their home school. Seats are limited, especially at the K-8 level, and they are awarded on a first-come, first-served basis, so we encourage you to get your application in as early as possible. At the high school level, students can go ahead and apply to CVA now. And in the next few weeks, students at the high school level will be entering their 23-24 course requests into Student View. The dates that they do that will vary from school to school, as each school has its own scheduling timeline. When students enter course requests into Student View, they should enter courses that they would like to take in the building, then complete the CVA application, and their counselor will then switch their classes from in-person classes to online courses with CVA. Students will receive a course verification request process from their home school sometime in early March 2023. It's important that you take a look at that because that will show you that your counselor has indeed entered your CVA course requests and you are good to go for the coming school year. Students that receive special education services, as part of the application process, it may be possible or it may be necessary for the IEP team to meet to determine how that student's needs can be met in the virtual environment. If the IEP team decides that services can be delivered to a student in the virtual environment, the signed amendment moving that student's services from in-person to virtual must be signed and on file prior to the start of the 23-24 school year. We also recognize that there may be some folks joining us tonight that are currently homeschooled students. These would be students that are not currently enrolled in Chesapeake Public Schools, and they have registered as homeschool students with the school division. If any of those students would like to participate in Chesapeake Virtual Academy for next school year, they may submit the application now during our open enrollment window between today, January 10th, and March 1st, 2023, and we will hold that application. We can't move forward on it until the homeschool student officially enrolls in Chesapeake Public Schools, and that process typically opens in April for the coming school year. If you are a homeschool student and you are interested in participating in CVA, please make sure you complete the online enrollment process in April of 2023 and then email us at cva.admin@cpschools when your enrollment in Chesapeake Public Schools is complete, and then we can move your application forward. More information is available at the CVA website located at cpschools.com/CVA. Homeschool counselors also have all of this information, particularly counselors at the middle school level and the high school level are available to help you with course selection and scheduling for next year. You can also reach out to any of us. Kelly Jordan, supervisor of CVA, her email address is kelly.jordan@cpschools.com. Or Teosha Macklin, our school counseling director at teosha.macklin@cpschools.com. Our phone number is also listed on our website, and we'd be happy to speak with any of you and answer any questions you may have. Thank you for your time tonight. We appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to receiving your applications. Thank you.